We've had a pretty crazy 3 weeks here at Borussia Dortmund, and well, 3 is the magic number because it's episode number 3, and today is our first game in charge. And to kick off what I'm hoping is going to be a successful Bundesliga 2 season, we are going to be playing away from home against Arminia Bielefeld. Media prediction of 15th, newly promoted to this division. We should be beating them easily. Then again, football is a weird thing, isn't it? We've only had 3 weeks to get a tactical system in place. The players themselves have barely played alongside one another. We've got to hope they gel quickly. Let's run the intro and see how we get on today. So plan of attack for today's episode, 2 matches coming your way. The first, an away day to Arminia Bielefeld, and then after that, we are going to be taking on Sporting Club Paderborn, a team predicted to finish 9th. These are 2 games that when you look at to start the season, we should be winning convincingly. But if we do want to win them, we are going to be out one of our better attacking players in GIOVANNI REYNA, and whilst I do feel like we have the backup players capable of stepping up and filling in, it would have been nice to have him around today. If you're wondering, where is he? He's playing in the 2025 Gold Cup with the USA. Very inconsiderate of them to double book us like this. As far as I'm concerned, the Gold Cup, they should reschedule it. They should be considering the Bundesliga 2 players that feature in the competition. There's probably just GIOVANNI REYNA there, really. I digress. We left things at the end of last episode with 2 potential transfers going on. Hopefully we're going to get those over the line during today's episode. But sadly for these players, they're not here today because I'm playing a match right now. For this match, we're heading to the Schuko Arena. That means it's time for an away day. If you've never seen an away day before, you're about to be wowed. Did I big that up too much? I might have bigged that up too much. So for today's away day, I don't fly to the locations. We do it through the power of the internet, where today we are leaving Dortmund and heading to Bielefeld, which I realise, I was going to say, I don't know where it is. I do know where it is, because it's just down the road. As far as I'm concerned, this is now an educational video on German geography, which means I can change the category of this video from gaming to education. Maybe that'll make my parents proud. And here we have the Schuko Arena. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I failed German at school. Here is the stadium. For some reason, I was expecting smaller stadiums in the Bundesliga 2. This does not seem insignificant, and there's no running track on the pitch because they've got a running track next door. I mean, it's technically a running track, but I feel like the corners on this end here, I mean, I'm not an athlete, in case you can't tell from my appearance, but that curve doesn't look correct to me. First things first, we all know what I'm looking for. Car parking. There's some patches of gravel and tarmac here. I'm going to just guess that this is used for parking. Otherwise, there is nowhere to park your car except here. And that is... I mean, they've not even painted lines. I will say, to its credit, area around the stadium, very green, very lush. It just looks quite nice, doesn't it? Now, I am concerned there's no roads around the stadium, and yeah, I thought this might be an issue. We are going to be limited to photospheres. The closest we can get is this magic roundabout next door. That's the stadium there, and I'm going to say it, this is the most German-looking street I've ever seen. Like, this is... it's even got the graffiti. It's even got the German graffiti that you come to expect on these away days. Now, to be fair, there are quite a lot of dots, including a lot in this stand here, which intrigues me. I want to go see what it's all about. What are we watching? There's a movie about Wales on a projector. Yeah, this is peak away day content. Now, there's a company called HDNet here. This is from 2016. No idea if they're still based at the stadium. Imagine working in an office, then you look out to your left and you've just got this beautiful stadium. I can imagine worse views. This might be the least appealing gantry I've ever seen in a football stadium, but beer. And the prices of the beer, I'll tell you what, not too bad. €3 for a pint. That is half the price it is in London. In terms of the stadium itself, I actually quite like it. It's got a bit of charm. Big fan of the blue. They've really leaned into the blue, haven't they? I mean, I assume the team play in blue, otherwise it's a bit unnecessary. Bonus points for drone footage, although they could have picked a better day. It's a bit gloomy. In terms of the stadium from the outside, here it is. It's not the most pretty of stadiums, but I guess it's functional. I still can't get over this athletics track. Like, what has gone on here? Oh god, this picture is from 2013. This is 10 years ago. This looks far more depressing than it looks now. I mean, this might be the best look we've got of the stadium itself, and I have to say, it's not super flashy. It's not got the best parking. but it's just kind of a very pretty, typical, traditional football stadium, and there's a lot to love in that. The Schuko Arena, capacity of 26,000, pretty little stadium, very traditional, nothing flashy, but nothing that I absolutely hated. I mean, get a better car park, you could have got a 7, but without the car park, 6. I think that's fair. I do feel like if you're a first-time viewer to the YouTube channel, experiencing your first away day, it's something special. Maybe a few of you have stuck around. Many people have probably skipped through the away day part of the video, or just ran away and are never coming back. To those people, well, they were never going to enjoy their stay here anyway. Now, I did and ah with our tactical system a little bit to start the year. I feel like we've got so much versatility in the centre of the midfield area that, at least to start the year, I'm going to play it safe and play a 4-3-3. We could end up playing a 4-2-3-1. We could go for something asymmetric. But I like the look of this team here. Besides the fact, GIOVANNI REYNA isn't available. So we are going to have to do a little bit of a shuffle. Duranville is going to go and play on the right-hand side as a winger. And what that does mean is that Bino Gittins is going to get to play his preferred role. Perhaps a chance for him to stake his claim for this position in the team, cutting in from the left-hand side on his right foot. Can the fan favourite show us why he's a fan favourite? Elsewhere in the team, Jovic is going to make his first team debut for the club. This guy came through the academy, 18 years old, tremendous goalkeeper. I've made him vice-captain. He's unhappy and wants to go to Tottenham. I'm going to hope he can remain focused on the task at hand. Across the back line, Vitaly Becker makes his debut at left-back, the former Union Berlin man linking back up with us. Scholl is going to make his first ever appearance for the first team here at Dortmund following his move from Bayern Munich a few years ago. A number of these players we have promoted from the B team. In fact, of the first team squad of 24 players, if we pretend Haller doesn't exist, a third of those players, 8 of them, were playing for the B team last year. Another one of those players is Mane, the centre-back come right-back. He will be playing right-back for us. To be fair, he has played a little bit of Bundesliga football, but played absolutely awfully. Hopefully he's going to be ready for a step up to first-team football this year. Jekyll is on babysitting duty at centre-back. I feel bad for the 28-year-old, but he is the babysitter. In the midfield, Florian Flick is going to be playing as that anchor defensive midfielder for us, hopefully holding down the fort, allowing Adriano and Cameri to get further forward. Of course, 2 debutants to the first team. Adriano, on your bull, we've spent £21 million on. I'm expecting fireworks from him. The next-gen runner-up last year, year before that, under-19 German Player of the Year. Yeah, the expectations are very high. And in the final third, Moukoko is going to spearhead the attack. 3 caps for the German national team, 2 goals. No one's made a bid on him yet. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Yeah, release clause of £68 million lingers. If we can keep this man around, and if he stays fit, even with his inconsistency, I think he could be on for a biblical season. Okay, first game of the season. Not sure if we're ready for it. I feel like we've been thrown in at the deep end, but I feel like we have some very, very good players here. Their quality should shine through. I would love to be able to give a lot of the young players on the bench frequent starts throughout the year, rotate things around. There'd be maybe an aim this year to go for the unbeaten season, but actually I'd rather use this year to play a few younger players without the fear that losses are going to cost us massively, and hopefully we can just initiate cruise control and be fine. The season starts here. We have a kickoff highlight, although I'm still on extended highlights from last year's Europa League final. That's a painful reminder of where we've left. If I was going to give you a player to watch today, I think it'd have to be Adriano at centre mid for us. Although Cameri alongside him is going to be making a bit of a step up as well. 2 young players at 22 and 20 years old, hoping they're going to provide the real creative spark in this team. And while I want to pretend there's been loads of creative spark, we're halfway through the first half. We've had 1 shot on target, but that could change here. Adriano back to Scholl. He plays it wide to Vitaly Becker. Plenty of options in front for the wing-back. He could go on his own. He could give it to Bino Gittins. The Englishman scores the first goal of the Englishman's reign. We are massive. There's a VAR check. Do they have VAR in the Bundesliga too? I thought we'd got away. It's been disallowed. I thought I'd got away from VAR. It's everywhere. Was he offside? It wasn't even close. Look, might have been offside. Let's look at the positives. We created something there, and we're creating potentially more here. Vitaly Becker nods it inside. Adriano, Moukoko, Bino Gittins. He scored once. This time he couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Bino Gittins bringing the ball forward here. Moukoko onwards. Can he finish it? No. We've ended this half with a flurry of chances. There might be one last one here. Moukoko played inside, behind, heads it. It rolls over the crossbar. He was off. Do I need to teach the players the offside rule? Is that where Dortmund went wrong last year and got relegated? Not going to throw a water bottle yet. I am going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. They're fired up. They're motivated. We've got quality on off the bench we can bring on. But I'd be lying if I was to tell you I was happy with what we've seen there. That said, we have got a set piece. Moukoko back post. Goes for it. Apparently he's been pushed. Oh, of course we're going to the screen. Are we going to the screen, referee? Where's the ref going? Where's our goalkeeper going? Jovic is going to start a scrap on the halfway line. You'd think they could put the screen like on a remote control car and drive it to the referee to save some time. He's finally made his way over there. If he doesn't give the penalty now, it's just a monumental waste of time. Is the penalty going to be given? It is going to be given. Moukoko to step up. Will he be the man to get us off the mark in the work the space era? On his left peg, the youngster who I'd love to build around finds the bottom corner. We get our noses ahead, probably deservedly so. That said, we are going to have to work to defend it, and we might have some defending to do here. Set piece, I'll tell you what, they committed a lot of men to the attack, and now Bino Gittins looking to launch a counter-attack. Only one player alongside him in the final third. I think it's Duranville. It might be Moukoko. He's gone on his own, and he shouldn't have. Thinking about making some subs here. A goal to the good with half an hour left. This game is not done, and well, we need to remain vigilant. We've just been let off the hook. Okay, let's make some changes. I'm going to bring in Gruder out on the right-hand side. He is going to play as an inverted winger, signed from Union Berlin, making his Dortmund debut. Maybe he can have an impact. Elsewhere in the team, I'm going to bring in Koenig here. He looks like he could be a great player for the future, someone who I think could slot in quite nicely in the Mazzala role for us. Either-footed, bags of potential, 20 years old. He's going to come in for Kameri, who's not had a debut to remember. In the defence, really good to see Vitali Becker having a good game. Jekyll's not had one to remember, but we don't really have that many defensive options on off the bench yet. That's a reason why I'm signing a right-back and a centre-back still. You know what? We'll make the two changes, lock them in. Surely we're going to get this over the line. 20 minutes left. The tension, it's tense here. Flick wins the header. Koenig gets the nod on Gruder. First touch in Dortmund colours in a highlight. Things we love to see. Let's click on him, put the name above his head, give him a bit of pressure, the youngster. We've brought him in for not an insignificant amount of money. He and Koenig linking up with one another, the two subs. Gruder goes inside, battles away, a little bit isolated with both centre mids going forward, but well, for a moment I thought he was going to pick out a great little pass. He might get another chance to do it here. He plays in Adriano. He was offside, but for £20 million, you expect him to hit the target. Entering the last 10 minutes of this game, we've got an XG of 2. We've not scored that second goal that I feel like would be, well, the one that gives us a bit of breathing room and allows me to relax. We could still have a chance here, though. Scholl, flick. He dinks it. Bino Gittins takes it down. He doesn't take it out. He crosses it first time. The ball's in the back of the net. But surprise, surprise, the offside flag's up. And I think he probably is offside. Despite the ridiculous pass by Bino Gittins, I don't think this is going to count. VAR's going to check it. And it's been ruled out. I thought here that Bino Gittins was going to take a touch, but he just decides to volley it back into the box. If Moukoko stays onside, that's a great goal. If nothing else, there's been a lot of highlights in this game, which is a bit of a relief. We're currently on the attack again. Adriano wide to Vitali Becker. Becker whips the ball in. Gruder heads it goalwards. It hits the crossbar. They get it just about away from danger. The three former Union Berlin men linking up there. Sadly, the ball's not in the back of the net. And I feel like this season we're going to need to learn to finish and learn the offside rule. Might be one last chance here. 3 minutes of added time. Ball back post. Gruder wins his header. And now he nods it over as well. Okay, I mentioned set-piece wizardry. Gruder's over a free kick. Don't take your seats. He can bang these in. Can he use his wand of a left foot? It's like David Beckham against Greece. Can he find the goal? He can find the goal. He scores on his debut. Gruder, the wizard, he's making magic happen. We've snatched him from Hogwarts, and now he's doing it for us in Germany. That might be up there with the weakest commentary I've ever given. But you know what? Low-hanging fruit, we take it. 2-0. We absolutely dominated that game. Gruder ended up getting man of the match out on that right-hand side. I thought at £8 million we'd maybe overpaid, but he's proven his goal-scoring ability at this level. He's shown it here. I wanted to sit here and boast that with that win, playing ahead of everyone else, we're top of the league, but we're not. Osnabrück, they're top of the league. They won 3-1. They were the only other team that played on a Friday, and they've really mugged us off. Right, we are doing the Paderborn game today. That's 8 days away. In the intermission, though, I want to get the Omar Bamidele deal done. I'm still nervous about the UAE, although they've not yet made a bid, so yeah, if we can get this deal done, that would be my big landmark signing alongside Adriano sorted. Some good news to kick off the week. Mogala has signed for us from Salzburg. Good little versatile defensive option. Don't really intend on playing him at centre-back, although he can play there. But as far as backup right-backs can go, I think we could do a lot worse. Surprise, surprise, Haller has turned down Leganes. I'm never getting rid of him, am I? But here's some good news. Omobamidele, £22.5 million. That is not a cheap deal by any means, but I feel like in getting this guy, we are securing our man, we're securing our defence, getting someone who I think is good enough to play at the top level of a top Bundesliga side, and at 24 years old, he's got his best years ahead of him. Haven't mentioned this before, our B team play in the division below us, which obviously, the B team is a lot smaller now, so I expect them to struggle more, but they are currently top of the league. And in fact, last year, they finished 5th in the 3rd tier of Germany. So, yeah, you can see why I decided to pluck a load of the B team players and put them in the first team. I feel like a lot of them are ready for that step up to this division we're now in. Jadon Sancho has been transfer listed. I'd love to sign him, but I can't afford his wages, and I've already signed my wildcard signing for the year now. So, I don't know. Maybe we can get him on a free in 2 years. Miracles do happen. Haller is heading to Lyon. Free transfer. I just need to get rid of him. He's on £80,000 a week. He's not very happy, and he's taken a wage cut where now his salary is half what it was for us. So right now I've got no transfers going in. I have still got a few B team players that are overpaid we're trying to sell. In terms of the finances, £69 million in the overall balance. Nice. In terms of transfer budget, £27 million, but our wage budget sits at almost £1.3 million. We're only spending 800k of that, so I can actually shuffle more money out of the wage budget and into the transfer budget if I wish. By doing that little jiggle there, got about £100,000 free, £40 million to spend. I don't feel like there's an obvious position I'm desperate to strengthen right away, but I don't know, if a really good German player became transfer listed, I might be tempted to have a flutter. Okay, second game of the season, first game at home, taking on Paderborn. They lost 3-0 in their opening game of the year. It should be a really straightforward game for us to win. In terms of team selection, Omobamidele is going to come into the team at centre-back alongside Jekyll. That does mean that Scholl is going to drop down to the bench where fellow new arrival to the team Morgala sits. Besides that, rest of the team is unchanged. GIOVANNI REYNA still just enjoying the gold cut. We'll keep an eye on the final. The USA are taking on Trinidad and Tobago. If they lose that game, that would be quite funny. Okay, first home game of the year. Hopefully we can endear ourselves to the fans. I've seen Paderborn lose 3-0 in their last game, so they're frail, they're weak. They should be there for the taking, and yet after the 20 minutes, we've not scored. Half an hour played here. Bino Gittins on the near side, lays it back to Becker, who had a good little debut at left-back last game. Omobamidele at centre-back, wearing the number 27 shirt. I auto-number shirt numbers, I'm sorry. Bino Gittins, number 9, running down the line, and well, he's technically got an assist there, but I feel like match fixing might be involved. Jackal has scored an embarrassing own goal. Bino Gittins picks up the ball here, turns on the afterburners, gets to the byline, pulls it back. Makoko, I'm going to claim that he was maybe having some kind of influence on the defender's decision-making. I can see how Paderborn lost their first game of the year 3-0. 2 minutes left of this first half. It's been one-way traffic, but not a load of highlights. That said, we have our noses in front. We've been on top. Now, let's keep our head in the game. Sekulov for them, bringing it down the line. Options in the middle. We're shepherding him out wide, but he is going to get the ball in. Esposito heads it, fortunately for us, just over the bar. 45 minutes down here, and own goal is the difference between the two teams. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from happy. How can I be happy with that? I'm a little bit concerned about Mane and Flick on bookings. We get 5 subs in this division, so we can afford to make some changes. I'm going to bring in Morgala for his debut. I'm going to bring in Sissoko at centre defensive mid for us. Hopefully, he will ignore his player trait to get forward whenever possible. And remember, he's a defensive midfielder. Elsewhere in the team, Mokoko's not had a good game today. I'm going to bring in our striker, who I still don't have a nickname for. The name that should not be uttered. If you watched last episode, you know. The 21-year-old coming on for his first minutes in Dortmund yellow. Sissoko with the ball. Lays it wide to Mogala. He plays it down the line. Duranville heads it inside. And that could have, should have, maybe on another day, would have been a goal. Keeper holds firm, makes a good little stop. Paderborn clear it away. And we're going to come and attack them again right away. It's like an attack versus defence training session. And now that session is going to commence with the defence a man down. It is a sending off. And for Paderborn, who have yet to have a shot on target, it goes from bad to worse. Bino Gittins, corner, whipping it to the back post. Omobamidele was lurking there. Adriano at the edge of the box is going to mop up the pieces. He lays it to Sissoko. Vitali Becker now with it. Sissoko back wide with Becker. Options queuing up in the middle. What can the number 3 do? Turns, pulls it back to Sissoko. Adriano, Duranville, it's knocked around sensationally. The finish at the end of it is a little bit scrappy. The build-up play was beautiful, and it's 2-0. It's almost a shame that the first shot at the end of the sequence wasn't the one that nestled in the back of the net, because it would have looked far more pretty, but instead, Duranville's effort was blocked, fell to Bino Gittins, and he made no mistake. This might be really, really rude, but they're down a man, right? They're 2 goals down as well. We're going to go more attacking. Adriano, shadow striker. I want the £20 million man to get his first goal today. Kameri tries to play it forward, intercepted nicely. Paderborn, they seem to have this habit of just lumping the ball clear, and in doing that, they just gift us possession, and we bring it forward again, and that is exactly what is happening here. Jekyll stepping out from the back. Kameri plays it forward. Adriano chests it down, hits it on the volley. I've changed his position to do that, and that finish is ridiculous. I mean, there's 2 aspects to discuss of this. The actual pass through by Kameri is ridiculous, but the touch, the chest, then the volley before it even hits the ground across goal. It's 3-0. I feel bad for Paderborn. I feel great as Dortmund manager, though. Times have really got desperate for them. They're playing a trequartista up front. It's like they've given up. Okay, full time in this game here. 3-0 win, emphatic win, great performance. We dominated the game. Omobamidele with a solid debut. Adriano, man of the match. So far, the signings we've made feel like they're having the desired impact, and a lot of the younger players we're sticking with are also making that step up. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, Osnabrück, they pipped us to top of the league on the first day of the season. I'm harbouring a grudge. Their stadium looks like a fun away day, and they are also a game that happens right around deadline day. So I think next episode we'll come back for that game, an away day, and maybe some potential deadline day panicking. Who knows, you know, Makoko could get a bid and I could be panicking. I hope that's not what happens, but I feel like I'm now manifesting it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the live-com doubleheader to kick off our first games in charge here at Dortmund. A very good start, hopefully a sign of things to come, and well, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for more. Drop a like if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you same time and place tomorrow. I'm out.